is dark. The day is over, but your mind may still be awake. Your body is asking for rest, but inside there is still noise. That thought keeps coming back. That worry has not gone away. That feeling that you lay down, but never really let go of the weight of the day. So before anything else, hear this slowly. God covers you with His wings. This is not just a beautiful idea to comfort your heart for a few minutes. It is real shelter for tonight. It is His presence for this moment. It is peace for your mind. It is care for your heart. It is rest for your body. Maybe you came here tired of trying to fall asleep and not being able to. Maybe you spent the entire day being strong, handling everything, answering everyone, carrying it all in silence, and only now, in the dark, you realize how heavy it has really been. Maybe no one saw how hard it was on the inside, but God did. And tonight, you do not have to pretend to be strong before Him. You do not have to get everything in order before you rest. You do not have to earn His comfort. Here, you only need to stay. Just stay. Just breathe slowly, and let this prayer reach you. If this speaks to you, write in the comments as an act of faith and surrender. God covers me with His wings tonight. It is to mark your heart with truth before you go to sleep. It is to turn this sentence into a place of shelter you can hold on to. As you write it, your soul begins to remember something fear tries to make you forget. You have not been left alone in the night. You are not alone in your room. You are not unprotected while the world grows quiet. Maybe what is with you right now is fear. Fear of tomorrow. Fear of a hard conversation. Fear of an answer that still has not come. Fear about a bill, a diagnosis, a change, a decision that feels too big. Or maybe it is not even a fear you can name. Maybe it is just that tightness that rises without warning, that restlessness you cannot explain, but it still weighs on you the same. And when night comes, all of it feels louder. What was buried under the movement of the day now comes to the surface. What stayed hidden behind your responsibilities now asks for your attention. This is exactly where God wants to meet you. Over the next few minutes, I am going to walk with you slowly. First, your mind will begin to settle. Then your heart will release what it has been holding on to. After that, we will place your home, your night, and your tomorrow under God's covering. And before this ends, I will help you close every open loop fear tried to leave hanging. Everything that kept spinning. Everything that felt unanswered. This prayer will not push you into spiritual performance. It will lead you into rest. Because there are nights when the greatest miracle is not understanding everything. It is being able to rest even when you do not understand everything. Psalm 91 says that the one who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. And maybe that is the first thing you need to hear tonight. There is a spiritual place where anxiety does not rule, where fear does not take control, and where threats do not get to decide your inner peace. This place is not built by human effort. This place is given by God. This place is shelter. This place is shade. This place is covering. And tonight, by faith, you are not running through an open field. You are entering that holy refuge once again. I know one of the hardest parts of the night is when your body lies down, but your mind stays standing. Your thoughts go back to old conversations, replay answers. Imagine scenarios. Try to predict pain so you can protect yourself from it. Try to solve, in the dark, things that would not even be simple in the daylight, and without realizing it, you become tired, twice tired from the problem, and tired from the effort of thinking about the problem. But not every insistence of the mind is wisdom. Sometimes it is just exhaustion trying to look like control. And tonight, God is not calling you to control. He is calling you to trust. So begin to let go achshav, slowly, gently, of what has been spinning inside you. Let go of the conversation you have replayed 10 times without changing anything. Let go of the scene you revisited over and over, trying to find the perfect outcome. Let go of the question you still do not have an answer for. Let go of the need to predict every result. Let go of the urgency to solve today what will not be solved today. This is not giving up. This is surrender. This is not weakness. This is alignment. This is not abandoning responsibility. This is recognizing that there is a limit to what your mind can carry before it begins to break down. Lord, visit the mind of the person listening to me right now. Touch their racing thoughts. Touch their restless memory. Touch their tired imagination that keeps producing worst-case scenarios. Where there is noise, bring stillness. Where there is confusion, bring clarity. Where fearful thoughts keep repeating, let the weight of your presence settle in, bringing order inside where words have failed to bring order outside. Let every thought that is out of place lose its strength tonight. Let every sense of threat grow smaller in the light of the truth that you are refuge and strength. Just as Psalm 91 declares, some people reach the end of the day carrying guilt because they feel they should have done more, handled more, endured more, responded better, produced better, reacted better. The bed becomes a courtroom. The pillow becomes a place of accusation. The mind starts listing failures, delays, imperfections, limitations, and the person falls asleep not like someone resting, but like someone condemning themselves. If that is you, hear this. God is not watching you with impatience. He is not demanding strength from you that you no longer have. He does not love you less because today was hard. He does not withdraw his care because you arrived weak. Psalm 23 says, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters." Notice this. He is the one who leads you into rest. He is the one who brings you to still waters. Sometimes you think you will only rest once you manage to reach a place of peace on your own. But the shepherd does not expect that from you. He leads. He draws near. He makes you lie down. So tonight, you can stop pressuring yourself to find the whole way by yourself. You only need to allow yourself to be led. You only need to let the shepherd carry you there. Now I pray that guilt would lose its voice, that accusation would lose its ground, that the weight of not being able to do it all would not invade this night. What was left unfinished today can be handled tomorrow. What remains unresolved today does not have to destroy your rest tonight. What hurt today does not have to govern your sleep. In the name of Jesus, let every form of unhealthy self-pressure be silenced. Let your soul be given permission to breathe. Let your heart be given permission to stop. And let your body understand that this bed is not a courtroom. This bed is a place of rest under the faithfulness of God. Maybe you are also tired of carrying other people inside your heart. Not only your own problems, but the problems of the people you love. A son, a daughter, a husband, a wife, a father, a mother, a sibling, a friend. Sometimes the heart becomes a house full of worries. You lie down thinking about your tomorrow and everyone else's tomorrow too. You want to protect them all. You want to fix everything for them. You want to keep pain from reaching the people you love. But that role of savior is far too heavy for human shoulders. And tonight, God is gently reminding you, You can love deeply without carrying everything as if it all depends on you. Right now, place before the Lord the name of every person who came to mind. Surrender the health concern that has been weighing on you. Surrender the fragile family situation. Surrender the child you cannot seem to reach with words. Surrender the strained relationship. Surrender the person who feels far away. And surrender even those who are sleeping under the same roof as you. May the covering of the Most High reach every room, every door, every window, every part of this home. May the peace of God rest upon the people you love, even when you cannot control what will happen to them. The shepherd is still the shepherd when you close your eyes, and here the first sense of closure begins to come. Your mind does not have to stay on guard all night in order for your home to be covered. God is watching over it. Your anxiety is not a guard. Your exhaustion is not protection. Your overthinking does not keep evil away. The one who covers, keeps, and sustains is the Lord. That changes everything. Because when you understand that, you stop confusing worry with care. You stop calling exhaustion love. You rest without guilt, because you know that while you sleep, God remains awake. Psalm 121 says that the keeper of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. If your heart feels tight right now, repeat quietly within yourself, I can rest because God is still standing watch. I can let go because God is still sustaining. I can sleep because God is still guarding. This is the first answer to the fear of this night. And it does not come from your ability to calm yourself down. It comes from truth. The truth that God's presence does not weaken when night falls. The truth that His care does not go on pause when you lie down. The truth that His covering remains over you, over your home, and over your tomorrow. Maybe there is also a deeper fear, one you do not always say out loud. The fear that something bad might happen. The fear of receiving difficult news. The fear of losing something. The fear of not being able to make it through. The fear of waking up and still having to fight the same pain. This kind of fear is not always loud, but it stays there like a shadow. And sometimes that fear shows up precisely when everything gets quiet. If that fear is in you, do not fight it with shame. Bring it into God's presence, just as it is. Because whatever is exposed to the Father's love loses the power to rule from the shadows. Lord, look upon this nameless fear, this tightness deep in the chest, this expectation of danger that has been stealing rest. Cover now with your peace what this person cannot even explain. Go to the root of the insecurity. Go to the place where the soul learned to expect the worst. Go to the place where memory still confuses silence with danger. Go to the place where the heart still lives on alert, and pour out your gentle, deep, steady security. Not a passing emotional high, but a firm serenity. Like the shadow of the Most High over the one who finds refuge in His shelter. Just as Psalm 91 says, tonight, you do not have to deny reality in order to have peace. You do not have to pretend everything is fine in order to rest. The peace of God does not require a performance. It enters precisely in the places where you tell the truth. Yes, there are still unanswered questions. Yes, there are things you do not know. Yes, there are vulnerabilities. Yes, there is real pain. But it is also true that God is here. It is also true that His presence is greater than the threat. It is also true that His faithfulness reaches what your hands cannot reach. And it is also true that you can rest without having everything figured out, because God is still God. There are nights when the problem is not one specific thought, but a constant sense of heaviness. As if your heart were carrying an invisible backpack. You cannot fully explain what is inside it, but you feel it there. It wears you down without being seen. It presses on you without making a sound. And because it has no clear name, it feels even harder to surrender. But God does not need perfect explanations to receive what is weighing on you. He understands what you have not been able to put into words. He knows the burden before you can even describe it. So tonight, even what has no name can still be placed before Him. Lord, receive this nameless weight. Receive this quiet sadness. Receive this restlessness that rises without explanation. Receive this emotional exhaustion that this person has not even been able to explain to themselves. You search and know every heart. You see the inner life completely. You do not need a detailed report in order to act with kindness. So touch that undefined place in the heart right now. Go to the spot where all this person can say is, "It feels heavy." Go to that layer where there is only a knot inside, and do there what only your presence can do. Bring relief deep within without needing anything dramatic. Maybe part of your exhaustion comes from trying to keep everything functioning normally on the outside, while something inside you has been crying out for help. You smile, respond, keep going, work, organize, show up. But your inner life keeps getting pushed to later, to someday, to when there is finally time. And many times that later arrives at night, when the silence makes room for everything you postponed within yourself. If that is happening to you, this prayer is for that too. To tell your heart that it will not be ignored tonight. God will not pass by your hidden fatigue. He will meet you right there. The Lord is not in a hurry with your healing process. That matters, because so many people grow anxious for not being better yet, not being stronger yet, not being healed on the inside yet, not responding the way they wish they could. But the shepherd in Psalm 23 leads gently. He does not drag. He does not shame. He does not rush a wounded sheep just to make a point. He knows the pace of your heart. He knows where there has been overload. He knows where there has been trauma. He knows where there has been weariness. And tonight, instead of demanding speed, He offers His presence. Instead of pressing for results, He offers care. If you need to cry after this prayer, cry in peace. If you need to take a few deeper breaths, do that in peace. If you simply fall asleep in the middle of these words, sleep in peace. God is not asking you for a polished ending. He is simply covering you. The human heart often relaxes in layers. First one part lets go, then another, then another. Do not force the deepest layer before it is time. Let peace do its gentle work. Let the presence of God reach even the places where you still have not been able to fully let go. I pray now over the memories that keep coming back in the middle of the night. Memories of harsh words, of losses, of disappointments, of mistakes, of shame, of moments you wish you never had to relive. Lord, when those memories try to rise up, cover them with your peace. Do not let them define this person's worth. Do not let the past sit at the bedside and accuse them through the night. Bring order to the memory. Bring healing to what still bleeds. Bring rest to what still aches. And whenever the memory comes, let your presence come first and remain greater. There are people who fear the middle of the night, because that is when panic or distress has come before. The body remembers. The soul goes on alert before there is even a clear reason. The clock reaches a certain hour, and the tension rises almost automatically. If that has happened to you, I pray that God would gently and firmly break that association. Let the nighttime hours no longer carry the same power over your inner world. Let the late hours no longer be an automatic trigger for fear. Let the presence of God mark time with a new memory. The night belongs to the Lord, not to trauma. Lord, visit especially the silent hours, the hours when everything feels bigger, the hours when this person tends to wake up unexpectedly, the hours when the chest feels tight, the hours when the mind starts racing. Go ahead of them in those moments and establish your peace. If there is waking, let there not be panic. If there is awareness, let there be the memory of your presence. If there are thoughts, let there be your word. If there is darkness, let there be covering. And if there is silence, let it be filled with your care. Make the middle of the night a place watched over by your faithfulness. Maybe you are also tired of being the strong one for everyone else, the support, the steady one, the person who holds everything together. Sometimes the ones who care for everyone forget that they also need to be cared for. The ones who encourage everyone forget that they also need encouragement. The ones who listen to everyone get used to having no place to pour out their own soul. But God knows that kind of exhaustion. He sees when outward strength is hiding deep exhaustion. And tonight, He is inviting you to step away for a moment from the place of holding everything together and simply let yourself be held. Do not be afraid to rest in God as someone who truly needs Him. Do not be ashamed to admit that today you do not want to explain anything, carry anything, or perform for anyone anymore. You just want to rest. The kingdom of God does not close its doors to those who arrive weary. Quite the opposite. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That rest reaches into the night too. It reaches the pillow. It reaches the mind that can finally stop trying to prove its worth all the time. Tonight, you do not need to impress heaven. You only need to let yourself be loved by God. Now I also place before the Lord the small fears that keep piling up, the message that never came, the medical test that is coming up, the answer that depends on someone else, the delay that complicates everything, tomorrow's obligation, the meeting, the trip, the conversation, the decision. Things that may seem small compared to bigger tragedies, but still steal your peace. Lord, take these smaller worries too, because the heart cannot rest when it is filled with countless small tensions stacked on top of one another. Bring lightness to every detail. Bring grace to every step. Bring calm to what seems simple, but still feels heavy. There are also those who feel spiritually tired. Not because they have stopped believing, but because they have been fighting for a long time, praying for a long time, waiting for a long time. And a long season of waiting can wear down even the strongest hearts. If that is where you are, I pray for renewal without pressure. May God strengthen your faith without demanding a kind of heroism that has already drained you. May He renew your hope without making you feel guilty for being tired. May He remind you that staying faithful is not the same as always feeling strong. Sometimes staying faithful simply means remaining under God's wings while the answer has not come yet. Psalm 91 does not say that the one who takes refuge in the Most High will never face anything difficult. It says there is shelter, shadow, deliverance, and faithfulness that serves as a shield. In other words, biblical protection is not naive fantasy. It is faithful presence in a real world. That matters, because you do not have to lie to yourself in order to rest. You only need to recognize that within the reality you are living, there is an even greater reality. The care of God over your life. That truth holds more than comforting phrases. It holds you through the night, through the process, through the waiting, through the exhaustion, and into tomorrow. If your heart is asking for immediate proof that everything will be okay, surrender that need too. Peace does not always come with every guarantee in advance. Many times, It comes with the certainty of companionship. And the Lord's presence is enough to carry you through uncertainty without losing yourself in it. You may not have all the answers yet, but you already have His presence. You may not have control, but you already have His covering. You may not have the full explanation, but you already have the shepherd. And for tonight, that is enough, more than enough. It is sacred, real, and sustaining. I pray over your imagination, because imagination is a gift when it serves hope, but it becomes a burden when it serves fear. How many scenes have you already lived through in advance that never even happened? How many tragedy-filled speeches has your mind rehearsed for no reason? How many losses has it already suffered before their time? Lord, consecrate this person's imagination. Do not let it remain open ground for the worst. Teach the mind not to manufacture torment, and when fearful images arise, cover them with images of refuge. The shadow of the Most High, still waters, the shepherd near, the wings that protect. Now once again, come back to this simple truth. You are here. God is here. This night is in His hands. Your mind does not need to keep spinning in circles to prove that it cares. Your heart does not need to bleed to prove love. Your body does not need to stay on high alert to deserve protection. God's care does not depend on your exhaustion. God's care is already available, and that closes one more inner cycle. Resting is not irresponsibility. Resting tonight is agreeing with the way God has chosen to care for you. Let that agreement sink even deeper. Agree that God can guard your home better than your anxiety can. Agree that God can sustain your family better than your fear can. Agree that God can lead tomorrow better than your attempts to predict every possible outcome. Agree that God can give you rest, even if you have not finished all your inner work. Agree that you can be small before the Most High without being abandoned. Agree that your humanity does not push away the Lord's care. The shepherd is still near. The refuge is still open, and if there is still one last resistance inside you saying, "But what if it goes wrong? But what if it hurts? But what if I cannot handle it?" surrender that voice too. Because even that objection can be placed into God's hands. Lord, receive every "what if." Receive the doubt that tries to come back. Receive the fear that still lingers. Receive the insecurity that has not fully gone away, and cover it with your faithfulness. Not every prayer ends with the complete absence of inner conflict, but it can end with that conflict placed under the rule of your presence. And that is already the beginning of real rest. Now I want to lead you into a deeper surrender. Picture, in a simple way, everything that has been weighing down your inner world being placed into the Lord's hands. One worry at a time, one name at a time, one memory at a time, one fear at a time. Not thrown down in desperation, but handed over with reverence. Like someone recognizing, this is too heavy for me to carry alone. This is too much for my mind to hold all night long. This belongs in hands stronger than mine. Place your finances into God's hands. What is missing? What is overdue? What is pressing on you? Place into God's hands the decisions you need to make. Place into God's hands the health of your body and the health of your mind. Place into God's hands the broken relationship, the delayed conversation, the difficult person, the ache of missing someone, the uncertainty, the exhaustion. Place into God's hands what you understand and what you do not understand. And as you surrender it, remember, the Lord is your shepherd. That means provision, direction, and presence. Nothing you place in His hands is ever lost. Maybe you have spent a long time trying to be the answer to everything. The answer for your family, for your work, for your future, for the image other people expect you to maintain. And without realizing it, that has created a deep exhaustion, because the human soul was never made to carry the role of being Lord over its own life. When you try to take that place, you become weighed down. When you give that place back to God, you find rest. Surrender does not diminish your dignity. Surrender puts you back in the right place. A beloved servant, not a worn-out God. A welcomed child, not an exhausted watchman. Psalm 23 is still true here. I pray now that every false sense of control would dissolve in the presence of God. May the person listening to me no longer feel the need to stay awake all night guarding what they cannot control. Let the inner compulsion to predict every risk come to an end. Let the need to map out every possible outcome before sleep come to an end. Let the heart be relieved. Let the mind be emptied of excess. Let the soul receive the grace to trust. And tonight, may this person feel deep within what the psalmist described. Still waters, not because all of life is resolved, but because the shepherd is near. There is a difference between responsibility and unnecessary weight. Responsibility is what God has given you to live out with faithfulness. Unnecessary weight is what you have taken on, as if you were the one holding the universe together. Tonight, the Spirit of God separates those two things. He lifts from your shoulders what He never placed there. He removes the burden that is crushing you, even if you have grown used to calling it normal. He sorts through the inner chaos. He organizes what is yours and returns to Himself what belongs to Him. And this is already one of the first answers of this prayer. You do not have to leave here carrying everything back with you. The second answer to the fear of this night is this: what has been surrendered does not need to keep being carried. You just surrendered it. You do not need to take it back. You just placed it before the Lord. You do not need to pick it up again just to think about it a little more. You just opened your hands. Do not close them again out of habit. Let the surrender remain. Let trust continue. Let your body learn from your prayer. Let your breathing move with your faith. The God who received what you surrendered is not asking you to inspect the package again in the middle of the night. Now we are moving into a firmer part of this prayer, not only to deal with what is happening inside you, but to declare God's covering over what is around you, over this room, over this home, over every space, over every person under this roof, over every entrance and exit, over this night. Lord, stretch out your hand over this place. Let your presence fill the atmosphere. Let every sense of oppression, restlessness, sudden fear, heaviness, and disturbance lose its hold. Let the peace of the Lord settle as a calm authority within this home. In the name of Jesus, I declare that this night will not be ruled by panic, sudden fear, mental torment, or spiritual unrest. I declare that the Lord surrounds this home on every side. I declare that there is covering over the roof, over the walls, over the doors, over the windows, over the hallways, over the bedrooms, over the bed where this person is resting. I declare that the presence of God is not fragile, not symbolic, and not distant. It is real. It surrounds. It sustains. It establishes boundaries that fear can no longer cross as freely as before. Psalm 91 says, "He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge." That is the picture for tonight. Not abandonment, but covering. Not exposure, but shelter. Not unchecked threat, but limits set by the presence of the Most High. Under God's wings there is warmth, there is protection, there is closeness. Under God's wings, you do not have to prove your courage. You only need to remain there. Under God's wings, the heart learns that security is not the total absence of battle, but the full presence of the one who guards you through the night. If there have been nights when you tried to sleep, while still on alert, waiting for a jolt, waiting for a bad thought, waiting for a panic moment, waiting for a strange sensation, I pray that tonight will be different. May your inner world receive a new signal, not danger, but rest, not threat, but covering, not abandonment, but care. Lord, retrain this tired body, retrain this mind that has grown used to constant vigilance. Retrain this soul that enters the night already expecting a fight. Teach it the way of peace again. Show, with gentleness and firmness, that your care is more constant than the memories of fear. Now I place before God the dreams, the nighttime images, the sudden awakenings, the jolts in the middle of the night, the broken sleep, the struggle to fall back asleep. May every cycle of nighttime disturbance be interrupted by the peace of Christ. May every anxiety-driven awakening lose its power. May every form of oppression in the late hours be scattered. May this person not only sleep, but remain at rest. May the mind not start racing again at 3 a.m, as though it has to save itself by force of thought. May the body understand. The night belongs to the Lord. I pray over the bed where you are lying right now. It may sound simple to say that, but it is not small. God cares about real, physical places. So Lord, visit this mattress, this pillow, this blanket, this room, this home. Let this space become associated with peace, not distress. Let the body, when it settles here, receive permission to relax. Let the muscles release their tension. Let the forehead release its pressure. Let the jaw unclench. Let the chest breathe without urgency. Let the hands rest. Let the breathing slow down. Let physical rest follow spiritual surrender. If there is a memory of hard nights, nights of tears, nights of fear, nights of difficult news, nights of loneliness, nights of pain in the body or in the soul, I pray that God would not only give you a peaceful night, but would also begin to restore your heart's relationship with the night itself. Let nighttime no longer be an automatic symbol of threat. Let the dark no longer amplify abandonment. Let the silence no longer feel empty. Little by little, may your soul begin to associate the night with God's covering. This is another answer that begins to settle in your heart. The night does not have to remain territory ruled by fear. I also declare protection over your tomorrow, because I know that part of what steals your sleep is not only what happened today, but what may happen when the morning comes. So Lord, go ahead of her. Go ahead of him. Prepare the steps ahead. Prepare the encounters. Prepare the answers. Prepare the mind. Prepare the heart. Straighten what feels confused. Open what needs to be opened. Close what needs to be closed. Give wisdom where words will be lacking. Give calm where pressure will rise. Give favor where it will be needed. The God who watches over the night is already in your tomorrow. Here, another inner loop begins to close. What has been weighing on your tomorrow does not need to keep spinning tonight. Tomorrow will not get better because you lost sleep trying to control it. Tomorrow will not be more protected because you stayed up all night on alert. Tomorrow will be faced with greater strength if you rest under God's wings tonight. The miracle you need for tomorrow may begin right here, with a mind that lets go, a heart that surrenders, and a body that accepts rest. The shepherd prepares the morning while you sleep. Now I want to speak to the person who feels alone. Maybe there are people around you, and yet deep inside, loneliness still feels heavy. Maybe you are used to being the one who comforts others, but rarely feel comforted yourself. Maybe you are facing things you cannot fully explain, and the night amplifies that feeling that no one knows, no one sees, No one understands. If that is true for you, hear this tenderly. God sees. God knows. God understands. And tonight, His presence is not a religious theory. It is real companionship for a tired heart. In Psalm 23, David says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." Notice that security does not come from the absence of the valley. It comes from companionship in the valley. Maybe you are still walking through a hard season. Maybe there is still shadow. Maybe there is still a process unfolding. But you are not walking through it abandoned. The Lord is with you, and His presence changes the texture of the night. Because when God is present, the valley does not become the permanent home of your heart. It becomes a place you pass through under the faithful care of the shepherd. Lord, reveal your companionship to the one who feels invisible, to the one who feels forgotten, to the one who feels without human support. Surround this person with the comfort of your presence. Let them sense, even in silence, that someone is here, that someone is holding them together on the inside, that someone is hearing what they have never been able to fully say, that someone is gathering every old tear, every hidden exhaustion, every short prayer whispered with almost no voice left. Remove the feeling of abandonment. Remove the belief that they have to carry everything alone. Let their heart receive true companionship in this night. Maybe you have prayed on other nights and did not feel much. Maybe you asked for peace and still felt restless. Maybe you asked for sleep and it still took a long time to come. And then the frustration started piling up, as if even prayer itself were failing. But God does not measure you by immediate feelings, and His faithfulness does not depend on how much you notice in a single moment. Sometimes peace comes like a river. Sometimes it comes like a drop. Sometimes it comes first by softening your resistance. Sometimes it comes by quietly bringing order within. Tonight, do not pressure yourself to feel something extraordinary. Just remain under God's wings. Even if the emotion takes time, the truth has already begun to work. Even if you have not fully relaxed yet, this prayer has not been empty. Even if your mind tries to go back, it is not returning to the same place it was before. Because now there is scripture planted in you. There is surrender that has already happened. There is covering that has already been declared. There is presence that has already been welcomed in. There is a slowing down that has already begun. Do not dismiss what God does gently. The kingdom often moves without spectacle, like still waters in Psalm 23, like protective shade in Psalm 91, like quiet companionship in the valley. Take one more slow breath. If you can, exhale gently. Do not try to rush rest. Do not try to monitor yourself into sleep. Do not keep checking to see whether peace has fully arrived yet. Just remain here. There are moments when the heart finds rest, precisely when it stops measuring its own rest. God is caring even for what you cannot track. And as this prayer continues, I want to lead you from firmness into stillness, because the covering has already been declared. The home has already been placed before God. Tomorrow has already been surrendered. Now it is time to settle inwardly. Lord, pour a holy gentleness over this person right now. After so much tension, bring rest. After so much alertness, bring quiet. After so much inner striving, bring relief. Let your peace move from the thoughts into the body, from the thoughts into the breathing, from the breathing into the chest, from the chest into the muscles, from the muscles into sleep. Let peace flow through the whole person, not only as an idea, but as a real experience of relaxation. Let the bed receive this person in safety. Let the room remain in peace. Let the night be carried through under your loving watch. I pray for the one who is exhausted from fighting invisible battles. Battles of the mind, battles of memory, battles of expectation, battles against scenarios that may never even happen, yet leave them tired as if they already had. Lord, give this person the rest they have not been able to create for themselves. Give the relief they could not produce by their own strength. Give the sleep their heart has not known how to find on its own. And if there is still some inner resistance, receive it without harshness. Lead gently, without hurry. The shepherd does not push the sheep into rest. He makes them lie down. He leads them gently beside still waters. Now I pray over the breathing. Let it become deeper and calmer. I pray over the heart. Let it beat without urgency. I pray over the mind. Let it stop running after everything at once. I pray over the face. Let the tension leave. I pray over the shoulders. Let them lower. I pray over the hands. Let them stop gripping what cannot be seen. I pray over the legs. Let them rest. I pray over the whole night. Let it be calm. I pray over the morning. Let it find this person lighter. I pray over the soul. Let it remember, even in sleep, that it is under shelter. The Lord is your shepherd. The Lord is your refuge. Maybe, as you listen to me, there is still a part of you trying to stay in control. As if relaxing too much would be dangerous. As if sleeping deeply would mean letting go of something important you still need to guard. If that is happening in you, I want to say this very gently. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to release the weight. You are allowed to stop trying to solve anything else tonight. You are allowed to place this night in God's hands. You are allowed to be sustained. Not everything has to depend on your strength. Not everything has to be processed tonight. You can rest. The third answer taking root here is this. You do not have to fight the night on the inside while trying to survive on the outside. The covering has already been declared. God's presence has already been welcomed in. The surrender has already been made. Tomorrow has already been entrusted to Him. Your mind has already begun to slow down. Your heart has already been given permission to stop. And little by little, your body can begin to follow that truth. This is the kind of transformation you often notice only afterward. When morning comes, when you realize that something in you is no longer the same as it was before. Yes, there is a thread of hope reaching into tomorrow. And I want your heart to hold on to this. When you wake up, you may realize that the night did not end the way it began. The problem may still exist, but the oppression may not feel as heavy. The issue may still need an answer, but your inner world may no longer feel so tangled. The morning may still bring challenges, but you may find yourself steadier, lighter, more able to face whatever comes. Because God is at work while you sleep, and some answers begin as rest before they ever appear as solutions. If your soul is tired of always living in a state of readiness, let God teach you another way to move through life. Not with negligence, not with indifference, but with trust. Trust is not passivity. Trust is inner rest in the faithful presence of God. Trust is doing what is yours to do and surrendering what is beyond you. Trust is lying down without feeling that everything depends on your vigilance. Trust is admitting your limits and still not feeling abandoned. Trust is what Psalm 91 inspires. Trust is what Psalm 23 sustains. Lord, seal this person in peace now, not only in this moment, but throughout the night. If they wake up in the middle of the night, let them find your presence again without panic. If a thought tries to return, let your word rise up before fear takes over. If restlessness begins to grow, let the soul remember. God covers me with his wings. If the chest tightens, let the breathing find its rhythm again. If the eyes open in the dark, let the heart recognize that the Lord is still there, the guardian who never sleeps. I also pray for the one whose body is tired, but whose sleep is light, interrupted, uneasy. Lord, give restorative sleep. Give this body the deep rest it needs. Renew strength, renew energy, renew endurance. Let this night become a place of repair. Let what has been drained over many days begin to be restored. Let morning bring a little more clarity, a little more breath, a little more stability, not as some detached miracle removed from reality, but as the fruit of your goodness, caring for every part of the human being resting before you. There are also those carrying grief, longing, absence, or an emptiness that is hard to name. In those moments, the night feels even longer. The absence echoes. The silence feels heavier. The memories return. If that is where you are, I pray that the presence of God would not erase the story, but would comfort the wound. May he hold you in the places no one else can reach. May he preserve the memory without letting it drown you. May he be your companion where absence has been the loudest. And even with the pain that is still real, may you find true rest under the wings of the Most High. Maybe you thought you needed to be stronger to pray the right way. More focused, more holy, more ready. But the truth is, God welcomes weary children. God receives trembling prayers. God listens to unfinished sentences. God understands sighs. God knows how to read tears, pauses, exhaustion, and silence. So do not worry about having done everything perfectly in this prayer. The shepherd does not demand performance from the wounded sheep before leading it. He leads because it needs him. He protects because it needs him. He covers because it needs him. That is how grace is working tonight, meeting you exactly where you are. Now let your inner world settle. What needed to be said has been said. What needed to be surrendered has been surrendered. What needed to be declared has been declared. What needed to be remembered has been remembered. Your mind has received direction. Your heart has received relief. Your home has received covering. Your tomorrow has been entrusted to God. Your loneliness has received companionship. Your guilt has been corrected. Your fear has been answered. And little by little, the night stops being only a place of struggle and becomes a place of shelter. Not because everything changed outside in an instant, but because God is present here. I want to repeat this with you, slowly, like someone laying their soul down in a safe place. God covers you with his wings. When fear tries to return, God covers you with his wings. When your mind wants to start racing again, God covers you with his wings. When the night feels long, God covers you with his wings. When tomorrow tries to invade this moment, God covers you with his wings. This phrase is not empty repetition. It is a track for the heart to follow. It is a reminder for the mind. It is an image of shelter. It is biblical truth breathed slowly into the night. Maybe sleep will come while I am still speaking. Maybe it will come right after. Maybe it will come little by little. That is okay. Do not fight the process. Receive the night the way you would receive a blanket gently placed over your shoulders. Receive this prayer as a quiet presence. Receive the word as protective shade. Receive the silence that comes after as a continuation of God's care. Not all peace makes noise. Not all relief has to be announced. Some of the deepest things God does happen exactly like this. Without hurry, without spectacle, without noise, but with complete faithfulness. If for some reason you still feel resistance, go back to the basics. Do not try to win the whole night in 1 minute. Just say, Lord, I am here. Lord, I surrender. Lord, cover my mind. Lord, cover my home. Lord, cover my tomorrow. Lord, teach me to sleep under your wings. Sometimes a short, sincere prayer repeated gently is enough to make room for the body to slow down. Sometimes all the heart needs is to stop fighting its own vulnerability and settle into the Father's faithfulness. Psalm 91 calls God your refuge and fortress. Psalm 23 calls God your shepherd. Together, these two psalms have given you shelter and guidance. Shelter for the night, guidance for the road ahead, covering for fear, direction for tomorrow, presence in the valley, rest for the body. That is the biblical authority sealing this prayer. You are not leaning on beautiful words alone. You are resting on ancient, faithful, living promises. Promises that carried wounded, weary, and hunted people through other nights. Promises that are still true over your life tonight, and now we have come to the end of what needed to remain open no longer. The fear of tomorrow has been surrendered. The racing mind has been placed before the Lord. Guilt has been silenced. The burden of carrying everyone has been given back to God. The home has been covered. The night has been entrusted to Him. The feeling of loneliness has been met with companionship. The memory of hard nights has begun to be confronted. Tomorrow has been placed in the shepherd's hands. The inner loops that kept spinning have been answered. Not everything in life has been solved through this prayer, but what needed to be closed before rest has been closed. Amen. It is sealed. It is surrendered. It is covered. And that phrase you repeated at the beginning now carries even more truth. God covers me with His wings tonight. What began as a simple act of faith has become a place of rest. What began as a sentence has become conscious covering over your mind, your room, your home, and your tomorrow. May the Lord bless you with a quiet night. May He guard you from every fear that tries to grow in the dark. May He strengthen what is tired, calm what is restless, comfort what is wounded, and lighten what is weighed down. May the peace of Christ visit your breathing, your thoughts, your heart, and your sleep. May the night pass under His loving watch. May morning find you lighter, steadier, and more rested. God covers you with His wings tonight.